Hi, good afternoon. Wanted to briefly touch on something here today, and I'm sure that this will become a subject matter that I'll be speaking about more often as we weave this through. Now, this is going to be more focused on what to expect and what is coming. Now, there are a number of people that I speak to and that I have talked to about this subject that are going to be making additional videos on it. Naughty Beaver has spoken about this today in one of his videos today, speaking about QAnon and the Mark of the Beast system, and so this is becoming the time. So the time to inform you, and that's how Father really kind of works. He works in us that he's letting us know that it's time to speak about these things. And so please understand that I'm going to be giving you some pieces of information here that is not for you to say, well, you didn't tell me everything. Because remember, the one thing that I'm tasked to do is to give you the information. As I've always said, lift up the stone and let you look underneath it and find that truth on your own, because then and only then will that truth be true to you. That if I give you something and I tell you what it is, then any variation of that makes you doubt, then you'll just doubt everything I ever said, because it's a debt system. And also that we have established here in this flesh a propensity to not accept what somebody else says, because then we feel indebted to them. So with that said, I'm going to be talking about, and like I said, myself and many other people are going to be talking about what is coming upon this world and with regards to the Mark of the Beast. So this is going to be quite a different video. As I'm going to be bringing these things to you. I'm going to be playing right now this Elon Musk video, and I'll integrate it in this so you don't just have to watch it on this screen. But I want you to hear what Elon is saying, because what he is discussing is the population of the world. He's essentially in code warning people about the population and that it needs to be controlled. But understand the reason as to why the population needs to be controlled as to what I will be addressing, and that's the enemy within this system. So let's pay attention to this, and then I'll come back and talk to you.
We should be concerned about demographic implosion.
Why do you say that?
So if you look at countries like Japan, most of Europe, China, and you look at the birth rate in a lot of those places is only at about half of the sustaining rate. When you have an inverted demographic pyramid, so if you look at the pyramid and you've got age striation, 60-year-olds, 50-year-olds, 40-year-olds, 20-year-olds, like sort of a demographic pyramid.
Right.
And in some countries it's like an upside down pyramid, so it'll sort of fall over. It will not stand. What we'll actually have in those countries is a very high dependency ratio, where the number of people who are retired is very high relative to the number of people who are net producers. And so you cannot, the social safety net will not hold. We didn't evolve for this because we sort of evolved to just always procreate, and there wasn't birth control or anything.
Right.
We just like have lots of babies. It's like par for the course, and like hopefully some of them would survive. That was like all of human history until very recently. And now it's, you've got cases like Japan where adult diapers outsell baby diapers. Europe's in a similar situation. China's headed the same way because they've had the one-child policy, and then even though they've relieved the one-child policy, the social norm has become to have an average of one kid. So even when they relieved that requirement, it didn't change. You can imagine, like people sometimes say, well, what about immigration? It's like, okay, look, there's 1.5 billion people in China. Where is China going to get 700 million new people? Okay, that's like 3 Indonesias. It's like, it doesn't work. And the full gravity of this is not well understood, but will become a severe issue in the next few decades.
So the reality of the situation on Earth today is that we have entirely too many people on a slave system. He's speaking about social systems. Now, these social systems are critical for you to understand. These social systems are about people that are feeding off of the government. Now, that was okay as long as they were also producing something. But as we move into an age of machines and AI, that's going to be a problem, because the tasks that people would have ordinarily been doing are no longer available for people to do. They will be done by machines or computers. They're already doing that. So covering this up becomes their primary concern. This is what you can expect as far as this system over the coming decades as he spoke of. But even before then, you're going to see some very tight chains put around people. Because the man that you're listening to right there, listen to how calm he is and how sweet he is. This is the man that they are grooming for you to trust, because he's a technologist, he's a scientist. These are the people that will be running things in the future, which is where the mark of the beast comes in 5G, as Naughty is speaking of. Now, understand this, that when he spoke of an upside down pyramid, all I can refer to is that when I drive out here and I see 50,000 acres and 50 cows that are on that 50,000 acres, that means a cow has 1,000 acres, right? A cow. A cow has 1,000 acres to live on, yet we have hundreds of thousands in probably just the few states around here that are homeless. And it's illegal in most states now to feed the homeless. So know this, the systems that are coming upon us right now, the systems will be pushed by men just like this. And understand that there's no secret, really. There are no secrets anymore. Everything is known. That there is a lot more about this guy than meets the eye. If you know anything about his mother, look her up. If you know anything about bloodlines and how the elite, E-L in elite, right? E-L-L meaning God. So this is the Luciferian system that I'm speaking of. Elon Musk signs his name, L. Do you think this is an accident? Pay attention to the things that are happening in the world, but not to your news programming, because they're going to be telling you what they want you to hear. But pay attention to little things like this, and not what the reporter is saying to you, but what this guy is saying to you. Because what they're speaking of now is basically already engraved in the Georgia Guidestones. It's a reduction of population. The reduction of population will come as a result of 5G. So you basically have already been chipped. I guarantee it. The chips are biochips. They aren't necessarily metal so much that you could see them on an x-ray. I've experienced it. I know what they look like. So I want to impress upon you that the systems that this world and the Luciferian system and the system of the enemy is going to become very, very pervasive. It already is. You just don't see it. Pay very close attention to what is taking place, because the population control is going to come in an instant. Famines will take place because they're going to force the people onto these systems. These famines can take place because the weather is controlled. All of the excuses and all of the tools at their disposal are available right now. And they're going to blame it on mankind, and then they're going to entrust the new systems to the technologists and the scientists, because you'll trust them more. You'll trust them more because you won't trust anybody in government anymore. They're establishing that distrust in you right now. So please know that these things are taking place, and I'm showing them to you as evidence. This is why I point you to people like Naughty Beaver. Not because Naughty represents the perfect version of what you would think of as in a church, but understand that the Father doesn't choose those that you would see in this world as righteous. He chooses who He chooses, and then He perfects them. And that's what Naughty's going through, and that's what Steve Olson's going through, and that's what anybody will go through when they've decided to do the work of the Father. The minute you've heard His voice, He's going to start cleaning house in you. So count on it. He's going to destroy everything in this world around you to make sure that He has your attention and that you have His attention. And then you'll hear that quiet voice. But not until then. I love you very much.